Welcome back to another episode of Southern Extreme TV. Today, guys, bringing you along in the kitchen with me on how I like to store and save my fish fillets after I catch them and I let them soak for a little while and I get them nice and clean. I've had some people ask me, hey, how do you store these fish? How do you keep them if you're not gonna, if you're not gonna eat them the next day and you're wanting to save them or stockpile them, whatever it is that you might be doing, how do you do it? So today, I'm gonna bring you guys along in the kitchen at Southern Extreme TV, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I do it using this big old mess of slab donkey crappie. Alrighty guys, so step one of what I do whenever I'm getting ready to store my crappie is I have went out and purchased one of in my personal opinion, one of the best things that a outdoorsman can own. Whether you're a hunter, whether you're a fisherman, whatever it may be, this right here is probably one of the greatest things that I have ever made an investment in, and it is a food saver system. So for those of you that are not familiar with what a food saver system is, it is a vacuum sealing machine. And basically what that does is you have these, you have a roll of this Ziploc style material, and you cut it to whatever size length or whatever size that you need with a built-in cutter that I've got right here. And give you guys a close-up look at this. This is the V3230 model from Food Saver. I got this at Walmart, and it has a place up here where you can store a whole roll of this material that it uses to kind of vacuum seal all of the material that you got on the inside. And then right here, it has a cutter. So basically you're going to pull out a section, slice it, and then I will show you from there how we are going to get this crappie together and show you exactly how this bad boy works. So let me set you guys down. Let me set you right there. Let me go get this crappie out. Woo. We'll get this water pulled off this, and then we will crank up that Food Saver system, and I'll let you guys take a look at it. And a lot of you guys might be asking, hey, why are you draining a whole bunch of water off your fish fillets? I personally like to let my fish fillets set on ice water, or in really cold water for, I usually let them soak for around 2 to 3 days, and a lot of people don't like to do that. I don't know why. Personally, I think that water helps draw out some of the fish oil and some of the natural, I guess, just unpleasant fish taste that's in the fillets, and it just helps clean them out and just helps it whenever you're going to freeze them and save them for a later date to eat. It makes it for a better fillet once you thaw it and you cook it. I just think it gives it a better taste, and the people that you're cooking for, they typically enjoy it a little bit better. So I highly recommend doing that. First of all, what we're gonna do is we have to select what size bag that I want to use on this Food Saver system. The cool thing about it is, let's say for example, I went out crappie fishing and I only caught 2 catfish. If I only had 2 catfish fillets, that were about this big, I don't have to use a great big piece of Ziploc baggie or a gallon Ziploc baggie to save this. I can cut it to the exact length that I want, and that's what I really like to do, because on this big amount of crappie that I've caught, I like to save them in a little bit larger bags, because I know that I'm probably only going to cook this big batch of crappie whenever we have a fish fry at the house. So for example, if we're going to have a big 4th of July party, or we're going to have a big Labor Day party or a birthday party, something like that, then we can pull out a big bag of this fish and it's going to be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I want a section about like that. I'm going to mash down, move the blade across, boom. And that right there is about the length of bag that I'm going to be using to save these crappie. Now, let me show you something right here. Each end of this bag is open. So So before I do anything, I have to seal one end of the bag so that way when I put my fish in there, they just don't fall out the bottom. You don't want that to happen. So what we're gonna do is, now that this food saver system is plugged up and ready to go, I'm gonna place the edge of this bag on the sealer part. So right in there. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. This is actually kind of tough. So right in there. I'm gonna mash that down, make sure it's good and level and even. And then I'm gonna hit this lever over here. And then once I do that, these lights will come on and it'll show you that, hey, power is to it and it's ready to go. Now these buttons right here, this is, you've got a normal, gentle, dry, moist. Now your normal and gentle, that's like if you were gonna vacuum seal like a cake or something, you would wanna put it on gentle because you don't want it to just absolutely flatten the cake out all the way. But I want it to suck as much moisture out as I can, so I'm gonna leave it on normal. And then once I get the fish in there, I'm gonna move this over to moist. So that way it will know that, hey, I've got stuff that is wet on the inside and it needs to draw as much moisture out as possible. So for now, we're just gonna seal it, and you'll see that there'll be a bright red rectangle or a square come up around there. All right, and then once it goes off, that typically means that it's ready to go. But what I have found with this food saver system is I typically like to seal it twice. So we're gonna hit it one more time. Perfect. Now I can release this over here, pull this up, and my bag has been sealed. Hopefully you guys can see that little bit of a line straight through there. That has been perfectly sealed, and now I'm ready to throw some crappie in there. So let's get this camera set up. Perfect. There we go. So we've got our bag here, and all I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be just laying these crappie fillets in here. Now with these crappie fillets, what I like to do is I like to try to keep them as flat as possible. And the reason I like to try to keep them flat is because I can get more fillets per bag if I keep them flat on top of each other, rather than cramming them down in the bottom and then them crinkling up kind of like a big fist down there. That takes up a lot of space. But the flatter you keep them, the more fillets you can get in these bags. Alrighty. So there is the first bag. Wash my hands off a little bit. Perfect. Set you guys here. Alrighty, guys. So now then, we've got our fillets in the bag. I'm going to place the open end inside this food saver system. And there's a little tray down here so that it'll have like where it'll catch your juice and stuff when it sucks all the moisture out. So you want to make sure that the lip of your bag is going to fit nicely in there. And I'm going to mash this black tray down to hold it in place. Then I'm going to lock it in place with this. Now my lights have came on. And over here where it says, is it dry food or is it wet food, I'm going to hit the food button and make it go over to, it says moist, so that way it knows that there's wet food in here and it needs to get as much moisture out as possible. And then what I'm going to do is there's a button beside the seal button that says vacuum and seal. And what it'll do is it'll suck all of the air and the moisture out, and then it will seal it before or after it gets all that out. So let's go ahead and start it, and it'll be kind of loud. Perfect. Now then, once it does that and it stops, that means that it is sealing and it's locking in that other end of the bag. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. Once that light goes out, so it's already sealed one time, I'm going to hit the seal button one more time. And I like to double seal it just so that way I know that there's no leaks and there's no air that's going to get down there into that bag. So once it gets done double sealing, then I can release it, open the black end. perfect. And then what I like to do is a lot of times you'll have some stuff left over right here on the rim where it sucks some of that moisture out. I'll just take a rag and kind of clean that up a little bit so that way I don't have all that fish stuff in the freezer. And then after that, what I will do is I will label what exactly it is. So we've got crappie. Grab a Sharpie. So we know that it's crappie in there, and it is 07, 17 when I'm making this. So 07, and not 17, 18, I apologize. 07. Good deal. So we know that this fish was vacuum sealed on the 7th of July, 2018. And we know that this fish is going to be fresh, nice and compact. Makes it very easy to slide into a very small freezer, just like so, and freeze. And then once it's froze, it will be ready for you to unthaw and to throw into the frying pan so that you can enjoy the delicious catch that you have caught, and you can share it with all of those that you want to share it with. So guys, hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. I still got some vacuum sealing I need to do. If you guys are looking for something that is around this price point of $100, this Food Saver system is absolutely worth it in my opinion, guys. It is absolutely one of the best things I've ever bought for fishing, and not only fishing but for hunting, because I can put whole deer tenderloins in there, I can put the inside loins, I put all kinds of stuff in there, vacuum seal it, put it in the freezer, and then I can pull it out, thaw it, put it on the grill, and it's going to be good to go. So hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit, and hopefully any of you that have been emailing me asking me about this type of information, hopefully this answered your questions. If not, and you have further questions, make sure you comment them down below, or you can email me. You can find that email address on my main page on Southern Extreme TV. Until next time, guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button right here in the top left corner. Absolutely means the world to me. Can't thank you enough for watching Southern Extreme TV. I will bring you along on my next adventure, guys. Thanks for watching.